Hi, folks. Welcome to Psych Sessions at ACT 2023. That's the annual conference on teaching. It took place in Portland, Oregon in fall of 2023. And at a poster session, we were able to grab some old and new friends for a quick Psych Sessions check-in. We hope you will enjoy the energy of this very live and active room and all the friends that we were able to have a quick chat with about their ACT experience. We hope that you will consider joining us for STP's annual conference on teaching in fall 2024. Head to teachpsych.org for more information. Brittany Avila.
Hello.
From Reno, Nevada.
Reno, Nevada.
Gosh, how are things? It's been a minute since we've talked.
It has been.
The biggest little city in the world.
It's getting bigger and bigger, and it's becoming a problem.
Is it really? I went to a great little breakfast spot there, Two Chicks Cafe.
Yes.
Yeah, have you been?
That's one of the best ones.
Gosh, it was good. That was a couple years ago.
Yeah, they've expanded now. They have 2 locations.
Wow. Yeah, and they have good swag. I think I have a t-shirt with like Samuel L. Jackson, Pulp Fiction, but there's some like funny Two Chicks thing going on. Yeah. Anyway, how is life? How is work? How's Reno?
It's good.
Yeah, are you still doing the 50-50, the split, you're teaching?
Advising and teaching, yes,
yeah,
I do.
That's your job.
Yep.
Okay. Remind people what you do.
So I do half the time, so I do a 2-2 load, so I do 2 classes each semester, and then the other half of my time I spend advising. So I do psych-related advising to 200 students a semester.
And how many of them come see you?
I usually do about 150 appointments throughout the semester.
Okay.
Some of them are repeats. Right now we're doing a lot of personal statement workshops and things like that where they're getting their application materials and going in. So I'm trying to get them in together.
Gosh, yeah, I'd like to talk to you about that. I am doing a lot of work on like professional mission statements that actually I think work pretty well with students. Well, maybe just talk to us, for those of us who aren't on the advising side. What's the personal statement goal? What's the process? What do students get out of that?
So, I mean, students don't know what they don't know, and I think writing a personal statement is something that you get better at over time. And so really just teaching them what it is and how to craft their narrative. So they're usually coming at it from a standpoint of being used to writing a college admissions essay. So they will unload their whole personal story. You know, from the time I started in undergrad, I took these classes and it changed my life, and trying to craft it and be like, that's not exactly what the personal statement's looking for. They're looking more for that mission statement type of thing. What do you want to do in the future? And that's hard for them to get the grasp of and grasp of, like, I don't know exactly what I want to do. And so we work over time with several different workshops. I do about 1 a month right now during this time to really figure out, okay, what have you done? Where do you want to go? And how do we craft that towards the schools you're applying to?
Okay. All right. So it's an actionable, is it a statement, a paragraph? Like, how long is this personal statement that you're working with them on?
So we work on their personal statements for grad school applications.
Okay.
So depending on which ones, I've got a couple that are doing law school applications. Most are doing like clinical psych. So the 1 to 2 page format. And typically with the workshops, we just started them this year, but they're really just a time for them to actually work on the document and work together about what to craft.
So do you have to learn about what somebody applying to law school specifically needs in their personal statement versus somebody who's going into a clinical psych program?
Sort of. I mean, the students that are coming to me know that I'm a psych advisor. So I will say, I will work with you to an extent. For law school, I don't know exactly what those admissions look like. I've never done it.
Yeah.
But they'll give me some guidance over what their questions are that the law school is specifically looking for. Apparently, law school ones are easy because they have a very strict set of this is what we're looking for.
Yeah.
The general guidelines and the general advice is all kind of the same. It's just what have you done and what do you want to do in the future. And so we'll craft it, but I always disclaimer that if it's not psych related, I'm not exactly sure what they're looking for.
So in psych programs these days, are there a few things that if people are helping their students apply for programs, what kinds of things should they really be looking for in their personal statements?
So it's going to vary by type of program. So a clinical psychology program is pretty much research-based at this point. So they want to know what research have you been involved in the past, and what research do you want to do, and how does that blend with what that department or that person you're applying to works. So I usually say it's a little bit more like a research statement than a personal statement. With master's level programs, it varies by program, but typically it's more about why do you want to go to counseling programs, what do you want to get out of it, those types of things, less research focused, more career focused. And then experimental programs are a little bit of both, but more that research based as well.
Yeah. Well, you are on the steering committees for ACT, and so congratulations. This is, from my perspective, gone off without a hitch.
Yes.
Yeah?
From our perspective, over the last 3 years that I've been on the steering committee, this has been the easiest one, knock on wood.
What makes it easy? Like the hotels got their stuff together?
So 2 things. One, last year was our first year as the steering committee together. We've been together for about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
But we did the pandemic ones.
Sure.
And so everything in the pandemic era everything just changed day to day. And so there was a lot more curveballs. Last year was the first year we did an on-ground one in Pittsburgh. And so the first one is just hard because even our director had never produced an on-ground one at that time. And so all of us were doing it for the first time.
Yep.
Also, we had huge problems with our AV. They did not do what they were supposed to do. Everything kept not working in the rooms. They were supposed to be recording the big ballroom, and they recorded nothing.
Oh, no.
And we were supposed to put that out for our online content, and it wasn't there. So we just had a lot of fires to put out. The way the hotel, it was like an antique hotel, so it was really cool. Not necessarily for our goals and purposes. So like all of our exhibitors were stuck in a back room by themselves.
Oh yeah,
they got no traffic.
That's right.
And so that one was just difficult to navigate.
Sure.
This one, we have the experience, so we know what to expect.
Yeah.
And the hotel's just more updated and modern, so everything's flowing a little bit better. We went with the hotel AV, and we've had no problems. They've been fantastic.
Oh, because in the past, you all used to bring a group out from, I think, New Jersey or something like that,
and
right?
so we even interviewed them again, but we were very cautious. We're like, you're going to need to bring the price down because we don't trust you anymore. They fired like the guy that was responsible last time.
Oh.
But it was a terrible experience.
Oh man, we're pulling the curtain back right now. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, Brittany, well done. It is good to see you. You are a West Coaster.
Yep.
And I know you from Tip Northwest, so we go way back. So I'm so glad that you are doing all this. I know that you have other things to do, and you can't get a Tip Northwest every year.
I know, but I need a new T-shirt because my T-shirt's like 7 years old, and it's starting to get old, and I need to go again. But it's at the same time as WPA this year.
26, yeah.
And I can't do that because I'm running Psychi WPA programming.
Gosh, yeah, it almost wasn't, and then it was.
I told Louise to steal me a shirt.
Are they doing shirts this year?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's not my decision anymore. Although I do have some weight, maybe I can get some shirts made. All right. Hey, Brittany, thank you for sitting down with me.
Awesome. Thanks.